Welcome in, everybody. We're diving deep today into the life of Brayden Lang. And we've got a real interesting mix of sources here. An obituary, a eulogy talks from his funeral, even a graveside dedication.
Yeah, it's almost like we're piecing together, a puzzle, like getting to see all these different sides of Brayden as a son, as a brother, husband, friend.
It's really remarkable how these different sources all highlight the same core qualities, though,
Yeah.
right? Like his infectious enthusiasm, his deep faith, and just this incredible love for his family. So,
Oh, absolutely. And, we're going to uncover some heartwarming and honestly hilarious stories along the way.
oh yeah.
But what really shines through is the kind of person Brayden was, even from a young age.
So let's start with those early years. Brayden was born in Provo, Utah, the oldest of 6 children.
Wow, 6?
Addie, Sophie, Colby, Brielle, and Mia.
Oh, okay, so
Just imagine the energy in that household.
I can only imagine.
And his parents, LeGrand and Becca. They really seemed to foster this sense of adventure and imagination in their kids.
You can definitely tell that from the eulogy. Yeah, like Brayden was the classic big brother, right?
Yeah.
Leading his siblings and cousins in all sorts of imaginative play, building kingdoms, endless sword fight.
Oh, yeah. Those are the kinds of childhood memories that really stay with you.
Absolutely. They shape who you become.
And speaking of shaping who you become,
Mm.
there's this great story about when his brother Colby was born on Christmas Day.
Oh, wow. On Christmas Day.
7-year-old Brayden's reaction. Lucky Jesus.
Oh, that's fantastic. What a great story.
It's such a perfect blend of, innocence and humor, And it seems like that stayed with him throughout his life.
It's so true. And it's funny because that story also highlights the importance of family right from the start.
Yeah.
And that theme, it just runs deep into everything we've read about Brayden.
Yeah, his family was clearly his anchor, his source of joy and strength.
Absolutely.
The family later moved to Chino, California. And that's where we meet Utah, the football player,
Utah, I love that nickname.
playing for both the Springville Red Devils and the Ayala Bulldogs.
Wow, 2 different teams.
Brayden, he wasn't the biggest guy on the field, but his dedication and work ethic really stood out.
It's like his nickname Utah itself became a symbol of his determination.
Yeah.
Here he is in California, but everyone still remembers where he came from and that fighting spirit he brought to everything he did.
And it wasn't just about the sport itself.
Right.
Those daily workouts with his dad, LeGrand, and his brother, Colby, the catch sessions.
Yeah.
It was about connection and pushing himself and exceeding expectations.
For sure. And you see that drive, that dedication, it shows up again and again. Like driving his sister Addie to early morning seminary, showering all of his sisters with love and affection. He wasn't just going through the motions. He was genuinely present in those relationships.
And that's what makes him so relatable, even if you never met him.
Right.
We all know what it's like to have those people in our lives who just radiate warmth and make you feel seen.
Absolutely.
And Brayden clearly had that effect on everyone
Seems
around
like
him. There's this one detail from one of the sources that really stuck with me. Brayden's reaction to seeing a lizard outside the Newport Beach temple.
Okay.
Just this burst of pure joy. A lizard.
Even as a teenager.
Yeah, even as a teenager. It's like a reminder that no matter how much we grow up, there's still that childlike wonder inside us.
I think that's a beautiful way to put it. Even as Brayden matured and took on more responsibilities, faced challenges, he never lost that zest for life. It's inspiring, honestly.
And speaking of challenges,
Yeah.
let's talk about his mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Okay.
For those unfamiliar, a mission is a 2-year period of service where young members of the church dedicate themselves to sharing their faith and serving others.
Right.
Brayden served in Guatemala and Utah.
Right.
Must have been incredibly diverse experiences.
Yeah, from what we read in the obituary and the eulogy, he was deeply committed to his faith, facing those challenges head on and really growing from them. He even had to be reassigned due to the global pandemic, which, couldn't have been easy.
But that resilience, that adaptability, seems to have been a hallmark of his character.
Yeah, for sure.
And even amidst those challenges, his mission journals are filled with that signature Brayden energy.
I love that.
He'd often end his entries with, "The church is true and the book is blue." It's like you can just hear his smile through the pages.
What strikes me here is that it wasn't just about preaching. His mission companions and leaders talk about his selflessness, his dedication to serving others, his natural leadership. He was living his faith, not just talking about it.
And that sincerity shines through in everything he did. It's a powerful reminder that genuine effort, authentic living, it resonates with people in a way that words alone never can.
Absolutely. It makes you think about the kind of impact we want to have on the world.
Right.
the legacy we're building, not just through our achievements, but through the way we live our lives each and every day. And, speaking of living life to the fullest, that brings us to Cammie. Brayden met his wife in high school, and they were married in the Newport Beach Temple in December 2021.
December 2021.
Yeah. Their first year of marriage was quite the adventure, taking them from Logan, Utah,
Wow.
to Plainsboro Township, New Jersey,
That's a mouthful.
and finally to Chino Hills, California.
Talk about a whirlwind.
It really was.
It's clear from the wedding photos and the tributes from Cammie's family that Brayden embraced them all wholeheartedly. He wasn't just marrying Cammie, he was joining a whole new family.
Yeah.
And he did it with his characteristic enthusiasm and love.
Yeah, you can tell from all the sources that their relationship is built on this foundation of shared values,
Yeah.
deep connection, and a whole lot of fun. There's this great story about Brayden riding his motorcycle, even in freezing temperatures, showing it off to his construction crew in Logan.
That's so Brayden.
I know, right?
It speaks to his adventurous spirit, but also his desire to share his passions with the people he cared about. Like he was saying, this is something I love and I want you to be a part of it.
Exactly. And it also highlights his sense of responsibility, his dedication to his new role as a husband and a provider. He was embracing every aspect of life, the challenges and the joys, with that same unwavering energy.
It's beautiful and heartbreaking at the same time. Because as we know, Brayden's life was tragically cut short at the age of 21 in a motorcycle accident.
Yeah, it's a stark reminder of how precious and fragile life is and how important it is to cherish every moment. Reading through the funeral talks and the graveside dedication, you can just feel the immense grief, but also this incredible love and gratitude for the time they had with Brayden.
The funeral was a testament to the impact he had on so many lives. The outpouring of love from family and friends speaks volumes. His father, Legrand, delivered a powerful message of hope and faith, focusing on Brayden's Christ-like attributes and the importance of unity and love, even in the face of tragedy.
And his siblings, each of them, Addie, Sophie, Colby, Brielle, and Mia, they shared such touching memories, painting this vague picture of Brayden as a kind, fearless, and joyful presence in their lives.
One quote from Brayden's mission journal really resonated with me. He wrote, "It has been more than a pleasure to serve the Lord, and I am glad to say that I will continue to serve him throughout my life. I love him, and I know that he loves me. I don't know exactly how to do life, but I know that if I trust in the Lord and follow him in all things, then I'll be okay." It's such a simple statement, but it speaks to his faith, his humility, and his unwavering belief in something bigger than himself.
It really does. And what's remarkable is that even in their grief, Legrand and the rest of the family, they chose to focus on hope and faith. They didn't shy away from the pain, but they celebrated Brayden's life and the lessons he taught them.
And they shared some lighter moments, too, like the story Legrand told about Brayden's prayer as a 4-year-old. After a playful scripture study session using Play-Doh, Brayden innocently prayed to cut off our neighbor's arm.
Oh my goodness.
It's so funny.
That's hilarious.
It's a heartwarming reminder of Brayden's pure intentions and his journey of spiritual understanding. Even as a child, he was grappling with complex concepts and trying to make sense of the world around him.
And it also speaks to the kind of environment Legrand and Becca created in their home, one where Brayden felt comfortable asking questions, exploring his faith, and even making the occasional hilarious mistake.
Exactly. And then there's the story Rachel Necht, Brayden's early morning seminary teacher, shared. Brayden stood up for a classmate during a lesson about Samuel the Lamanite, demonstrating his courage and unwavering support for others.
That's so powerful.
It's a perfect example of Brayden living his faith, not just talking about it. He saw someone in need and instinctively jumped in to protect them. It makes you wonder what other quiet acts of kindness Brady performed that we'll never know about.
Absolutely. These anecdotes, these glimpses into Brayden's life, they paint a picture of someone who is truly exceptional. But what makes his story even more remarkable is that it's not about grand gestures or extraordinary feats. It's about the everyday acts of kindness, the simple yet profound ways he touched the lives of those around him.
And those ripples continue to spread even now. His family adopted the slogan, "Play for Bray," in their lives and sporting activities. It's such a beautiful way to honor his memory and channel his unwavering spirit.
Yeah, it's more than just a slogan, though. It's a way of life.
What does it mean to play for Bray? I think it's about approaching everything with the same passion, dedication, and joy that Brayden brought to the things he loved. It's about pushing ourselves, supporting others, and living each day to the fullest.
Absolutely. Making the most of every opportunity, every relationship, every moment. Because, as Brayden's story reminds us, life can be fleeting.
It's easy to get caught up in the sadness of his passing. But what strikes me is the overwhelming sense of love and gratitude that permeates these sources. It's clear that Brayden lived a life full of meaning, a life that continues to inspire and uplift even in his absence.
I think that's what makes this deep dive so powerful. It's not just a story about someone who lived and died, it's a story about how to live.
It's a challenge to all of us to ask ourselves, what kind of legacy are we building? What will people remember about us when we're gone?
It really is a profound question. As we've kind of journeyed through Brayden's life, from his playful childhood with his siblings to his adventures with Kami, one thing keeps coming back to me.
That joy.
Yes. It's not just about the events themselves, but the kind of person shining through those events,
Yeah.
even in the face of challenges. Whether it was being reassigned on his mission or facing those freezing temperatures on his motorcycle, Brayden's joy, his love for life, it was a constant.
And it just makes me wonder, what was it about Brayden that allowed him to face life's ups and downs with such unwavering positivity? Was it his deep faith, his strong family bonds, or something else entirely?
I think it's a combination of all those things woven together to create this incredibly resilient spirit. Remember that quote from his mission journal? I don't know exactly how to do life, but I know that if I trust in the Lord and follow him in all things, then I'll be okay. That wasn't just a saying for Brayden. It was a way of life.
Yeah, it's like he understood that life isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about facing it with faith, courage, and a whole lot of heart. And that's something we can all learn from, regardless of our own beliefs or backgrounds.
Absolutely. Brayden's story reminds us that we all have the power to choose joy, to find meaning even in difficult circumstances. It's about focusing on the good, on the people we love, and on the things that make life worth living.
His parents, Legrand and Becca, they created this home filled with love, laughter, and adventure. And that foundation clearly shaped Brayden into the man he became. But it's also inspiring to see how Brayden took that foundation and built upon it, creating his own legacy of love and service.
Think about the impact he had on his siblings, on his wife Kami, on his friends, even on his seminary teacher. It wasn't about grand gestures or extraordinary achievements. It was about those everyday moments of kindness, the willingness to stand up for others, the way he made everyone feel seen and loved.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Brayden's incredible life, I want to leave you with a final thought.
Yeah.
What if we all tried to play for Bray in our own lives? What if we approached each day with the same enthusiasm, dedication, and joy that he did?
It doesn't mean we have to ride motorcycles in freezing temperatures or become missionaries. It means finding what lights us up, what gives us purpose, and pouring our hearts into it. It means showing up for the people we love, even when it's hard. And it means choosing joy, even amidst life's inevitable challenges.
Brayden's story reminds us that life is precious, and that each of us has the power to make a difference. So go out there, live with passion, love with your whole heart, and leave the world a little brighter than you found it. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.